Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Wednesday. It's Tuesday, wherever you are around the world again. That just goes to show how this game went. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are good. Of course, welcome back to the post-match reaction to Liverpool drawing, of course, 1-1 against Nottingham Forest. Of course, let me know your guys' immediate reactions in the comments down below. Of course, it was one of those games, wasn't it? Look, I think, just straight off the bat, I think Liverpool, certainly second half to first half, were a much better team. I felt, again, first half, we did suffer from our own mistakes yet again. And I think when you look at the game overall, I should say, it is, I think for Liverpool, it is very disappointing, because again, looking at the game overall, again, 6 shots for Forest, 3 of them on target, and we can see the goal off of it. And let's be perfectly honest, I think their goal in particular, you can easily rule that out, and you can easily stop that type of goal, and I do think you can do that. But look, obviously Chris Wood scores their goal to get them up 1-0, and then from there, their plan is perfectly executed in terms of, again, sit behind the ball, wait until Liverpool make a mistake and counter attack, and that's what Nottingham Forest did perfectly in that first half in particular. And I don't think anyone can have any quarrels about that, because we were poor, and I mean, we were so poor in that first half, in particular as well, where realistically now that's cost us 3 points. The first 45 minutes, obviously cost us 2 points in that sense, because we haven't lost the game, we've won the game, we've drawn the game, sorry, but even still, it feels like Liverpool yet again have dropped 2 points, where tonight should have been a victory, and should have been a statement, where Liverpool, again, put themselves on a pedestal to go on, again, to breach that gap then, let's say, from the rest, of course. But big up John as well. If I can quickly get your comment up, because for some reason StreamYard won't work. Hello, are we live? Yeah, there we go. So, as it says, but hi Connor, poor first half, better second half. Brentford is a must win now for us on the weekend. 100% agree with you, mate. I can't really argue against that. In particular, I don't know, let me double check the stream. It's good. Yeah, I can't argue or realistically be, disagree with you in that sense. It was a poor first half performance, and again, you try and put your finger on it, and I think that the pure simple answer is Liverpool need a number 9. How many times did Liverpool have a pocket of space open where we'd exploit Forest at times and then wouldn't execute it properly, because Luis Diaz is having to play left mid to try and suck in kind of like a Forest defender to try and break that line. We really, again, I will say it, Diogo Jota, we missed Diogo Jota in that game. And when he came on, of course, I've got it, already titled here, in terms of, again, obviously Liverpool won, Forest won, but, let's be perfectly honest, chat, Diogo Jota saved the day for Liverpool. Yet again, even though, again, when you do look at the statistics for the entire game, Liverpool having 26 shots altogether, or 23 shots, sorry, 7 on target, 4 big chances throughout the 90, an XG of nearly 2 in the game, but we couldn't finish our dinner. But Diogo Jota comes on, and within 20 odd seconds, he goes and makes it 1-1. And he's the type of guy that we miss consistently. And again, when we talk about Brentford now going further on, I want him starting in the front line. I don't want Luis Diaz playing in the false 9. I want Diogo Jota up top for Liverpool. And look, I think the false 9 with Diaz, it works at times, and of course it does. Liverpool, it works perfectly for what we want in certain aspects of things. But even tonight, we needed that player to run into the box, to make that, dart and run it in between the lines, and get that, type of like attack. And again, we got that with Jota. Certainly in the second half, second half, onwards, I think we did deserve to win the game. But of course, I have to give credit where it's due. Sells for Nottingham Forest. again, it would not surprise me if he goes down as the goalkeeper of the season. Again, unbelievable performance from him. So frustrating on the Liverpool side of things because, again, how many times have we come up against a goalkeeper that has a man of the match performance? And I think Forest had two players in particular who were really, really good tonight. I think obviously Sells, of course, is the first one that, again, of course, shines in terms of, again, Forest. But I also think Morello as well. I thought he was outstanding. I think, again, he was given man of the match for the whole game. But I thought, again, he was really, really good for Forest. And with Liverpool doing basically the same sort of pattern in attack, where we would literally pass to Mo Salah, try and cut in, or pass to Trent, cross from deep, and keeping on trying to do that. I thought they did tremendously well in stopping that. And again, probably poor on Liverpool's side of things to, again, not change things or shoot from outside the box. I hate that a little bit at the moment where we've got one of the best strikers of the ball in Dominic Szoboszlai, and we don't have a shot from outside the box, whether that's, again, an instruction from Arne Slot or whether or not that's a player instruction themselves. But for me, I think you have to take a shot. Just have a gamble. I'd much rather somebody have a shot and, okay, it just misses, or, just take that gamble because you never know. A deflection could easily go in the back of the net. And I do think Liverpool need to do more of that going forward as well. But big up Ian as well, saying, why can we not sustain a level of performance of 90 plus minutes? That said much better second half, but end product and Salah was poor. Unfortunately cost us tonight. Yeah, 100% agree with you, mate. I think Mo Salah did have a poor performance. There's no arguing that. I do think maybe at one point we should have maybe took Mo off for a Chiesa or even a Harvey Elliott, bring them on to add a little bit, something different in the game. Look, Mo Salah at the minute is looking tired, he's looking knackered. And when you look at the games that are coming thick and fast for Liverpool, there's no rest for Mo Salah, coming up. And this was the whole idea of, allowing, I'm bringing in Federico Chiesa to, of course, allow Mo Salah some rest. And we realistically haven't done that. Looking at it now, Brentford on Saturday at 3 p.m, that would be difficult. Of course, they just drawn, I think, to Man City as well. So again, they're full of confidence. Lille in the Champions League, I hope we rest Mo for that. Liverpool only need a point to automatically qualify. I hope we, rest them for that. And then we've got Ipswich, PSV, Bournemouth away, and then of course the League Cup game. So I think we need to rest Mo a little bit in certain aspects, and again get him that recharge that he needs for the season going ahead as well. But Ian says we should be buying Marmoush in this window, and selling Nunez and Diaz is not the answer down the middle. I would agree to some extent. I think, Diaz for me, I don't think is good down the middle. I think in certain games, I think in big games, you can certainly do that. I think obviously Leverkusen was a prime example where you can use that tactic, in bringing Luis Diaz as the false nine, and obviously he goes on to score a hat-trick off of it. I think at Spurs away as well, I think we also did the same thing. But I think in a game like tonight, we needed a Diogo Jota, desperately needed a Jota. And again, he was the main difference maker. Which again, when you look at it, Jota, if you can keep Jota fit for the rest of the season, that would be huge for Liverpool's title hopes as well. But of course, Liverpool now need, kind of like a miracle now, of course, against, obviously tomorrow, I think Spurs play Arsenal. So again, if Spurs could do a job for Liverpool, that would be, amazing in that sense. Of course, I think Liverpool now, I want to say 5 points clear at the minute with a game in hand. Let me double check before I do say the wrong thing. I know we're 7 points clear at the minute of Arsenal. With obviously, if they win, we're still 4 points clear with a game in hand. But of course, if they win, that'll give them a massive boost as well. Of course, I think Chelsea also drew as well, which that's a mad result, to be fair as well anyway. But of course, speaking on Liverpool man of the match, I think you could, certainly second half, you could give it to you could give it to Diogo Jota for equalising. I think you have to, really. But I thought, again, Szoboszlai, I thought, had a decent game. Certainly the second half. I thought McAllister was decent once again. But again, Costas even as well, and I think that there is probably a real conversation that needs to be asked about the left back position again, because Costas comes on. I know it, of course, is different circumstances because, again, Robbo obviously started off the game. Would Costas have been similar in certain aspects? But Costas comes on, Jota comes on, and they both create a goal. Remember they both of them create a goal. Costas assists from the corner, and Jota, slots it away with a header, pretty much 20 plus seconds coming on. And I think you do have to ask the question of, certainly a left back, is Kostas Tsimikas at the moment a better option than Andy Robertson? And I would say yes. Look, every single time Kostas has been given an opportunity to play in the team, he's been on the same level, if not better than Andy Robertson so far this season. And again, that's not saying, again, the level's good, because, look, I think everybody would agree that left back is a position that Liverpool desperately need to add quality to, and I think when we talk about potentially where we can upgrade the team on, I think left back is definitely an area where Liverpool need to add upon as well. But I do think that we really need to look at that position. Certainly, it won't be in January now, but I do think in the summer it's definitely a priority, along with, of course, a centre back and a DM for us as well, of course, anyway. But big up Cal saying no Elliott, no Chiesa, no Dan's slot. Where are these players? Yeah, like, again, I think Chiesa should have come on for sure. For Mo Salah, I thought Mo needed a rest, and I do believe that. I think Mo could have done with coming off, because, again, Mo was poor, for a big period of the game. There was once or twice where he did get unlucky. I think was it Aina, I think it is. I think he deflected a shot from Mo that is basically a goal if he doesn't get in the way of that. There was once or twice when Mo was a bit unlucky, but I do think maybe adding a Chiesa into that, a Harvey Elliott, could have added a lot more into the game. Of course, I also think obviously we brought on Curtis Jones. That was something, again, where I think when you do look at it, again, wasn't really the best when he came on. As Carl said there, Curtis against a low block, never going to work. No, and it's never going to work. I would have brought on Harvey. For me, look at last season where we played or we come up against teams that, again, are trying to defend. And then, Harvey Elliott is the guy to come off the bench and win Liverpool games. Palace, Palace away, I think you could definitely go on to, say Wolves away as well. Harvey was such an impact last season away from home. I feel like we are very much underusing Harvey Elliott. And that is probably one criticism I would say of Arne Slot, is we've not seen enough of certain individual players this season. Of course, the main one being Harvey Elliott. And look, of course, maybe Arne Slot doesn't rate Harvey Elliott as highly as what Jurgen Klopp did. But I do think, when we're trying to go on to win the game, I would much prefer to bring on a Harvey Elliott than I would a Curtis Jones. I think if it was a big game, if it was a team that was, of course, coming at us full pedal to the metal, I think, of course, bringing Curtis Jones would be perfect in terms of, again, defending the counter press and defending, of course, not being that press proven midfielder, where, again, that works in that type of situation. But Forest were fully behind the ball, by the time Curtis Jones come on the pitch, by the time it was 1-1. We needed that extra element to go forward. We needed that extra attack to break, that Forest defense. Because, again, fair play to Forest. It's the first goal they've conceded, I think, in 5 or 6 games. So, again, look, they are a very, very tough team to come up against. And I do think, again, you have to give credit, to Nuno. I think Nuno's done a really, really good job at Forest. And I think, when we talk potentially at the end of the season, of course, whoever goes on to win the Premier League will, of course, get the praises in terms of manager of the season, or hopefully that is Arne Slot under Liverpool. But, of course, I think Nuno's name has definitely got to be up there. Because look, they've taken 4 points off of Liverpool this season, which again, not good enough on our side, but again, it's great on their end. And again, like we said about yesterday in the post match, they've done such a great job this season. Again, you can't underestimate them to go and get Champions League football now this season, because they're taking big points off big teams, and that's the way it's going at the moment, as well. But of course, let me know your guys' thoughts, of course, in the comments down below, of course. Anyway, but let me quickly read a few of your guys' comments. Big up. I think I read Bob's comment, but I'm not sure. Is a point a decent result given other results tonight? I think it's a decent point. I don't think it's a one to get too disheartened by, but again, I think everybody expected kind of like a statement performance, if that makes sense. The fact that Liverpool, again, we go away to Forest, similar to, like, I think all of us was comparing it to how we went away to Leicester when we went to win the league. And, we didn't really create that feeling of, Liverpool now are going to kick on and go on and win the league. And that's something that, again, I'm a bit worried about. Personally anyway, but definitely think Dan's or Chiesa should have come on instead of Jones, something different. Dan's wasn't actually on the bench neither, so again, Dan's couldn't really have done anything else, but hopefully doing well as well. But yeah, no, I do think Chiesa especially could have come on and done something as well. Anyway, but big up Damo, hope you're doing well, mate. Even though Chiesa may not be fully fit, he has a knack of ghosting past defenders who haven't got a clue which way he'll turn as he's running at them. He can manufacture yards to get a shot away as well. Absolutely agree. I think Chiesa, the same is like you guys have said, Chiesa, Harvey Elliott, they could have been used to make a difference tonight, and unfortunately Arne Slot thought different as well. But Al says, my biggest problem was, why is VVD the only player on the pitch that gets angry during games? He was telling everyone to move forward faster from 30 minutes on. Yeah, that's a great example of a captain. Virgil van Dijk, I thought again tonight, I thought Virgil van Dijk, people will blame him for the goal, but again, it feels like sometimes he is a one-man defending machine, and genuinely, if we end up losing Virgil van Dijk at the end of the season, I don't think the club are ready for it, because there isn't a centre-back, and I think I worked it out that if Liverpool were to lose all three of Trent, Salah and Van Dijk, we would end up saving, I think it's around £38 million, obviously base salary. This isn't bonuses or unknown clauses or whatever. You cannot get a replacement for Trent for 35 million or 38 million. You can't. It would be very, very hard to get a player in for that. Now, for Virgil van Dijk replacement, times that by 5, and you're never going to get a Van Dijk replacement, because the quality that he is showing. And I do think if Mo Salah wasn't having the season he is currently having, in terms of, again, beating records left, right, and centre, I think everyone would be talking about Virgil van Dijk being the best player in the Premier League. And I think by far he is the best defender in the Premier League. He's the best defender in the world. And as Carl said there, to Al, he's our clear best player. And apart from Salah this season, I would agree. He's been tremendous this season so far. And yeah, like I think again, as Carl said there, if we lose Van Dijk this season, we are back to a top 4. I don't even think we're even there. And that's the thing where people are going, should Liverpool be? Should people be this, that, be concerned about the contracts? 100% they should be concerned, because losing Virgil van Dijk alone would be catastrophic, let alone losing Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold in that same bracket. And I think, look, we have to become, we have to be concerned at one point of going, what happens if we do lose all of them? Because, the club won't finance getting in replacement, because we're going to have to spend 100 million plus to go and get, in terms of quality, we're going to have to do that to just at least go and get Van Dijk replacement, let alone Salah or Trent. But again, that's a whole different video in another aspect of things anyway. But Thriller says, admit it, poor game from Salah tonight. It was 100%. It was, my friend. Look, I think we've said it all throughout the show. Would have definitely liked to have seen a Chiesa performance tonight, a Harvey Elliott. I think Mo did have a bad game. Apart from, again, he was unlucky in certain aspects of things. The deflection off the goal line from the corner that Mo, again, if the defender's not there, that's a goal for Mo Salah. But even still, look, Liverpool were poor at parts tonight, and Mo Salah, it was a really, really poor performance from him. And look, I think genuinely Liverpool, for me, Liverpool should have, or Arne Slot, we've been very, we've praised Arne Slot quite a lot this season for what he's got right. But I think it is okay to criticize a little bit and, be that constructive criticism in terms of, again, last season we saw the quality of Harvey Elliott, for example, when he came on the pitch and won Liverpool games of football. We're currently missing that. We're missing that super sub to come and change the game where, again, Jota did that. He got Liverpool back into the game, but then surely you should add another element to Liverpool's team in Harvey Elliott to come on and get Liverpool over the line, to get those 3 points. And look, now we could be 9 points clear of Forest tonight. We could be 9 points clear of Arsenal, no matter what happens tomorrow as well. And that's the big difference, I think, where Liverpool, again, that's kind of cost us in some sense of where we didn't allow them on. And we brought on Curtis Jones. Like I said, that's not a dig at Curtis Jones. I thought he did okay when he came on. But for me, I would have much preferred a Harvey Elliott on the pitch compared to a Curtis Jones, just because I think, if Forest were coming at us more often, I think the Jones substitution would have made a lot more sense. But I think in a game where Forest were pinned back so much against Liverpool, certainly towards the back end of the second half, we definitely were driving and driving. Harvey Elliott would have been another element towards that. And I think, we missed the trick. I really do think we missed the trick. And that for me is something that, again, I think Slot needs to improve on a little bit. But of course, obviously, it's all about learning. And of course, obviously, hopefully, he does learn from this game. And of course, Brentford will be even harder, I think, on the weekend, especially, again, them getting a result against Manchester City as well. But Cal says, we've seen Coutinho, Salah, Mane, Firmino without Van Dijk. Just shows, look at that 3-3 in December. Arsenal shows can have a good attack, but defence is key to titles. 100% agree. My friend, again, 100% agree. But look, we have to be better. I think tonight is a learning curve yet again. Obviously, if Arsenal win tomorrow, look, that obviously closes the gap down to 4 points for Liverpool. But, again, you never know what Spurs could end up doing tomorrow. Anyway, hopefully, we will see Spurs perform a miracle and beat Arsenal at the Emirates anyway. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, of course. Anyway, let me know, again, your guys' thoughts overall. I think, look, first half was disappointing. Second half, we should have ended up winning the game. But look, Diogo Jota saves the day for Liverpool yet again, and gets Liverpool a point away to Forest, of course. Anyway, but big up as well, saying, are you worried about any of the chasers? Arsenal, I've said Arsenal's. I've always said Arsenal's our biggest rival in terms of the title, but not at the minute. Look, we play Arsenal, don't we, at Anfield? That's going to be a huge game. And I just think at the minute, Arsenal especially, they don't have an attack. They've got Havertz, they've got Martinelli, Trossard, of course, at the moment, but they've got nothing else. But yeah, again, maybe ask me that after Brentford, and then maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the chasing pack at the minute. But of course, for Liverpool, again, we have to just keep on doing our job. And Brentford is a huge game because we need to win that. We can't be drawing or losing against that, because again, it's a huge opportunity for Liverpool to again beat a very, very good team. Where again, you look at teams around us, they could slip up against a team like Brentford as well. But absolutely 100%. Hopefully everyone is good anyway. But what we have at the moment, it looks like only like Arsenal and Forest at the moment. If they don't beat Spurs, I doubt they challenge. Again, I'd always go back to that game at Anfield, But again, if they don't beat them, yeah, you're absolutely right. I do think Liverpool will. I think if they lose again, we're 7 points clear at the minute as a chat. Like I said, but again, if they don't win, then probably then you have to say Forest. Based on evidence and based on again them not conceding many goals, and of course obviously they've got a goal scorer in Chris Wood at the minute, who is on fire. Scored again against us tonight as well. One thing as well, and I'm going to do a show on it. Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday. But I think we've got to start talking about Alisson a little bit, because I read a stat earlier where I think he's since coming back to the team, I think he's faced 18 shots, or it might be even 19 shots now against him, and he's conceded 8 or 9 of them shots. Like, that's a bit concerning, when we look at that. And I think maybe we might need to start talking about Alisson, and maybe his standards not being as high as what they once was. But that's, again, a video for another day anyway. But look, I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Big thank you for everyone for tuning in to the post-match reaction. Of course, anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, one thing I will go and say as well, before we do shoot off, make sure you go and check this video out. Of course, obviously, we did do a video, of course, on that's the wrong button I pressed. Of course, we did do a video speaking about the new striker that Liverpool have been linked with. Of course, so go and check that out on the YouTube channel. It is on the video page. Go over and check that. And if you're watching on the repeat as well, it will be on to the left or right of me when, of course, this video does process anyway. But like I said, hopefully everyone has a fantastic rest of your night. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode on the channel. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. I've been calling out from the Co Council. I'll see you guys later on. Ta-ra.